We'll start this morning with a prayer. The Associate Pastor of Discipleship, First Baptist Church of Biloxi, Mike Wilson, to lead us in prayer this morning. Thank you so much for being here, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Y'all, let's bow our heads and join the Lord in prayer. Father, we come to you humbly and submissively, thankful to live in a time and a place where we can be called your children. Father, it's not lost on me that in this room, standing both in front of me and behind me, are people full of responsibility and influence and just challenge in their everyday life. And so, Father, we pray that in the moments ahead, as this meeting unfolds, you would give each individual wisdom. You would help them to have endurance. You would guide them, help them to know that they are appreciated as they do work that's often thankless, as they serve this community. Father, just be with them. Help them as they do their work to bring you glory and fame in all that they do. We love you and praise you and pray these things in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Supervisor Rocker, would you lead us in a pledge, please?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we love to start off on a happy note. Our new Beautification Commissioner, Michelle Clifford, would like to present a wonderful resolution. Speak loudly. Sure, come on up.
This is for the Bunn family. If y'all please stand and come up. For Mr. Jonathan Bunn, his 3 children, Emma, Elijah, and Carter. On behalf of the Board of Supervisors and Beautification, we just want to thank you for your efforts and the love to your community for taking the time and cleaning up our litter. And we appreciate it, and we hope it inspires others to do the same.
Come in there, y'all. Get in there, y'all.
Fan off of you.
I am particularly proud because that's my favorite thing is getting up there.
Yes.
Y'all, I'm gonna take 30 seconds, even though I didn't ask for it. We didn't come here, and I didn't get my kids out that morning for recognition. I got them out to encourage, just what she said, to encourage the people in our community to pick it up. As you drive down our streets, we all live in beautiful communities, and litter irritates the dog crap out of me. Make sure that's on the record, dog crap. And I want to challenge y'all as leaders to try to think of ways that we can influence our communities and get that picked up. I mean, if we want our communities to grow and thrive, it's hard to promote our communities when the roads look the way they do in a lot of our areas. So this was not a publicity stunt for us, but to really try to encourage those around us to pick it up and clean it up, because we do have a beautiful home. So.
And it's $1,000 fine if we can ever catch it.
Look, Sheriff's got a lot on his mind. He's got a lot on his plate. Litter ain't top of it, you know. But
Exactly.
We've talked about it.
I hope it is, but I know you've got a lot of stuff going. So, hey, thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Keep up the good.
If I may, Madam President, it's going to take a lot of education to change the culture that we have with the litter problem. It's costing us a lot of money to pick it up. I just want you to know, the bottom line is education, changing the culture of this state and this community about throwing litter out on the road. We picked litter up on a road, and within 2 weeks, it's right back where it was before we picked it up.
Sometimes within 2 days, it's back where it was.
And our roads are pretty nice if you want to come on every district line.
Well, and Waste Management will tell you, sometimes I've called when I see things coming out of the Waste Management truck. He said the bottom line is, don't put things in your trash can unless they are in a sealed bag. Because they will fly out. So that's another thing we can be very aware of. But thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Oh, we have a few addendums. We're going to just go ahead and get those out of the way so we can get to the agenda.
can you guys, make a motion in a second to approve that resolution?
Oh, yes.
Motion?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor of approving that resolution, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Brittany. All right, the first addendum is order approving mental health first aid workshop to be held May 9th, 2023 at the Harrison County Advocacy Center from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Motion,
Motion.
Second.
discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Number 2, order taking off the table the form, application, rental agreement, and post-event report for the lease of the Harrison County Fairgrounds and Equestrian Center, and authorizing the director of said facilities to execute same on behalf of Harrison County, and authorizing the Fairgrounds Director to enter into lease agreements in the interim while the Board Attorney, Fairgrounds Director, and Comptroller amend details on rental agreement regarding cancellations, delinquent payments, refunds, and checks. Motion?
Second discussion. Didn't we already do this?
We did, but we tabled it because there was a few questions, and Tricia was pointing out, she thinks 6 months to cancel is way too long, costing, how long do y'all do that? How long, Matt, does someone have to cancel before they have to pay?
If they're a good customer and they come back every year, I've had them cancel the day before. Okay, only because of the fact that I know I'm gonna get their business back.
Right,
Repeat business is the lifeblood of any public facility. It really is. So, but if somebody cancels it like a new piece of business, if it's within 90 days, we refund them every bit of the deposit unless we have had to incur hourly expense to put a show on sale, to take it off sale, and then we do have a fee for that.
So you don't charge them for lost business, so if they
No.
got it booked and
We
somebody else.
try to work with all of our clients. The entertainment, particularly the entertainment world, is a very dicey gambling proposition that those promoters take. And we find that it's better to try to work with them because if they've got any substance, they'll come back.
So 90 days is what you're thinking?
About 90 days.
What did our policy say?
6 months.
we had 6 months in our old
That's-
contract.
That's what was on the tape from the last meeting, so I put 6 months in there, but as I told you, I believe that's too long.
I do too.
Are y'all good with 90 days?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second with the supplement, 90-day cancellation. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Last addendum, order approving the form of application, rental agreement, and post-event report. Oh, that was just to take it off the table. Now we're voting to approve that. Application, rental agreement, post-event report for lease of the Harris County Fairgrounds Equestrian Center, authorizing director of said facility to execute the same on behalf of the county. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
I'm sorry, I do have one question.
Okay.
We're still saying $50 for the deposit, is that right?
Her zone.
Per zone?
Per zone,
Per zone.
yeah.
Okay.
That's fine, okay. All right, and if y'all don't mind, we were asked to move number 56 up. Because they are here. Number 56. Come on, computer. Scroll, sorry. Okay. All right, number 56, order approving the relocation of precinct 2041 East Orange Grove from 12290 Depew Road, Gulfport, Mississippi, to 15486 Orange Grove Road, Gulfport, Mississippi. The creation of precinct 4081 Northwood Hills to be located at 12290 Depew Road, Gulfport. Transfer of voters from precinct 2131 Stonewall to precinct 491 North Bel Air, and merge precinct 2051, that's Gulfport number 4, and precinct 2061, Gulfport number 5, into precinct 2071 West Mississippi City. Motion.
Motion.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next, we're gonna go to number 53. And then we really will get to number 1, I promise. 53, resolution declaring the intention of the Harrison County Board of Supervisors to accept the transfer of real properties from Region 13 Gulf Coast Mental Health Center upon completion of said region's closure and dissolution. Our attorney wanted to talk about that.
Yes, thank you. I asked Supervisor Powers if we could remove this item from the agenda. I think Friday, Pam and I had the opportunity Friday afternoon to go to one of the buildings that is on the list, and it's not ready. And that brought to mind there are a total of 5, maybe 6 buildings that would be transferred, and we really think it's prudent before the county says yes. This is a requirement from the closing attorney that each county passes this resolution, that we go look at it, and if, with your permission, take Willie and see what you're looking at. And if y'all would like to go, we'd like for y'all to go as well, but the building we saw on Friday is just, I can't say I would want it. I don't think y'all want it either right
Do we
now.
need a motion?
Motion
To
to
table.
table.
Remove, whatever.
Motion to table.
Do we have a second? Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. All right, number 2, recognize Will Sims with Sims and Estes PLLC to request a tax abatement for Summerfield Senior Living of Gulfport LLC. Is he here? You're not Will Sims.
No, I'm not. I'm Ryan Martin. Will wasn't able to make it. He had to get his daughter's bathroom. I got some visual aids here. I was gonna.
Your family owns it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You and your parents.
Yes, ma'am. A couple of visual aids. See some of our animals there. So, first, thank you guys for allowing us to present today, and we appreciate being heard by the supervisors. And so I'm here for Summerfield Senior Living, and like I mentioned, we're a family-owned business, and we own and operate 4 assisted living communities. With our newest and favorite is in Gulfport, off of North Swan Road. We have 86 apartments, and we have, with this property, decided to take an uncommon and unique approach to what we've done in this development, and it's something that is not seen anywhere, not only in this community, but anywhere in the country. We've already been nationally recognized for what we've done here, specifically the way that we've incorporated our farm and barn animals into our care that we provide to our residents. So we are very excited about that. We added some additional things. We have a stocked fishing pond, we have a playground, we have bocce court, we have a putting green. But most importantly, what we have is care. And you know, we always say we're not selling real estate, we're selling care. And so that stays at the forefront of everything we're doing. And the reception's been outstanding. We're 100% full with a waiting list of about 20 people right now. We're already, you know, exploring additional opportunities for investment and expansion into our product just to meet this incredible
How long
demand.
have you been open?
Since 2021, July.
Why are you just now coming for a tax?
He is.
He's been-
This is his second time.
Yes, ma'am.
If I may, we came before and we did not want to set a precedence, but in doing some research, we found out that we already have set a precedence because there is another nursing home over on 605. So,
What are you asking for, 5 years?
5 years, yes, ma'am. Yep. So this is by way of the healthcare industry zone, so it's a 5-year tax payment.
What has the board done?
we, the
Just
one,
5 years?
We generally give 5 and reconsider after 5, the other 5 that they're allowed to have.
605 over there behind. It's
Yeah,
in
my
it's in my
question
district.
is the length of time.
It's
So it's 5 years.
It was 5 years with, you told them 5 years, and they could come back and ask, at the end of 5, they could ask for an additional 2.
So is that what you're asking?
Yes, ma'am, just a 5.
Not the additional 2 or?
Understand.
Yeah, with the opportunity to present it.
Understand, the law provides a 10-year tax exemption. The board by policy has decided that we would only grant it in 5-year increments so that we can review it in 5 years to see if the criteria have been met, jobs approved, jobs created, all that kind of stuff. So I think what's confusing him is thinks it's just 5 years. our policy has been to grant 5 years, then look at it at the end of 5 years to grant the other 5 years.
Yes, sir.
You're allowed under the statute a 10-year grant of tax exemption.
Yes, sir.
My position would be granting the 5 year for reconsideration after 5 years to see how it's going, whether you meet all the criteria, and then we can go with the other 5, the board later on. can
And
go with
since,
additional.
Yes, ma'am.
and since we have already granted one in the past, then I'll make a motion. Did you make a motion, Marlon?
No, I haven't made a
Okay, I'd
motion.
make a motion that we, do go ahead and give you the 5,
Second discussion,
what-
Tricia, is it possible to go back and grant him a year? You got to go with, okay.
I do have one question, one in your package, and I'm sure you have it,
Yes, ma'am.
but the statute requires that MDA issues a healthcare facility certificate. Did they issue you that?
Yes, ma'am.
And you haven't?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
He told the board last year they had done everything they were supposed to do and they were denied.
They
Well, they
did
were
say
denied
that,
it,
but
but
they
it was-
didn't.
we thought it was setting a precedent
No.
for all others. But
But
we,
do
I'm
you
sorry,
need,
Madam President, I spoke up.
That's all right, go forward, you can say what you wanna say.
do you need proof of the, does he need to furnish you a copy of that certificate?
We would need it. We need it for the file.
Sure,
To
yes,
be
ma'am.
minutes. It's not an application, and it wasn't in your previous application, because I went back and I looked at all of it. You did say you had it, but we just need to make sure we had it on the other one.
Sure thing.
Okay,
We'll get
no
that to you.
problem.
So we have a motion for a 5-year abatement at 100% to revisit this in 5 years.
second the motion.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries, thank you.
Thank you so much.
And there is another Will Sims.
With that,
There is another Will Sims that we have.
That's right.
Oh, and if you have cows, because of your pictures, go call the USDA, they have grants for anyone who has cows, really.
That's great.
Yeah, especially for children and elderly, look into that.
We just added another one, over the weekend, so.
That's great, I love that.
Don't name them,
Don't-
That's right. We'll only give it
don't
to
name
us.
them, in
But you'll
case,
never eat them.
yeah,
Thank
in
you.
case, you know, short.
Thank you. All right, number 3, order concurring with the Mississippi Coast Coliseum's Commission decision to approve the purchase of 140 Oakmont Place in Biloxi for $180,000.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? Matt, this is just because we need to grow, and so this is one of the homes you're
This
purchasing?
is the property to the west of the compound that will border Pops Ferry Road Extension when it happens.
Excellent. Anything else you want to tell us? You good? Anything else you want to say?
Happy early Valentine's to all of you. Johnny McAdams, I will not wish you a Valentine's.
I don't blame you.
Thank you, Matt. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Number 4, order
Thank
take, thank you, Matt. Order taken off the table reappointing Ann LaRosa to serve as representative on the jury commission for a 4-year term ending December 31st, 2027.
Motion.
Wait a second.
Second.
I was told she wanted to be here today.
Yeah.
This is taken
She
off.
did,
Any
she had,
discussion?
she had COVID.
Oh, goodness.
And the
Okay.
reason she couldn't come last time, and she's still, you
Okay.
know, trying to.
I just wanted to make sure she wasn't here. Okay.
Yeah.
All those in favor, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. And now number 5, reappointing Ann LaRosa to serve as representative on the jury commission for a 4-year term ending December 31st, 2027. Motion.
Motion.
Wait a second. Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Number 6, order taking off the table the appeal filed by Christopher Peck, Lori DeVecca, Yolanda McGee, and the citizens of Walker Farm subdivision of the Planning Commission's decision to approve case file 2106 HC 107 for a conditional use permit filed by Heinrich and Associates LLC for Michael Slade and Sandra Amons requesting a conditional use permit to allow for a 66-lot, single-family residential subdivision called Walker Farm West on an 18.6 acre parcel of land as identified on the site plan. Residential subdivisions require a conditional use permit from the Planning Commission. The property is currently zoned as an R1 low-density residential district. The subject property is located north of Highway 53 and east of adjacent to Shaw Road. The ad valorem tax parcel number is 0606E 01004.000.
Motion.
Do we have a second to take it off the table? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. All right, now, number 7. Considering the appeal filed by Christopher Peck, Lori DeBecca, Yolanda McGee, and the citizens of Walker Farm subdivision of the Planning Commission's decision to approve case file 2106 HC 107 for conditional use permit filed by Heinrich and Associates LLC for Michael Slade and Sandra Amons, requesting a conditional use permit to allow for a 66-lot, single-family residential subdivision called Walker Farm West on an 18.6 acre parcel of land as identified on the site plan. Residential subdivisions require a conditional use permit from the Planning Commission. The property is currently zoned as R1 Low Density Residential District. The subject property is located north of Highway 53 and east of and adjacent to Shaw Road. The ad valorem tax parcel number is 0606E 01004.000. Now, I just want to be clear, we're taking this in 2 parts. This is for the middle part, what we can call it, right?
It is, but I think what we've done before is we've heard them together, even though they're 2 separate cases, and you'll have to rule on them separately, but I believe that's what we've been doing. Is that right, Steve?
Yeah, Madam President, it may be prudent because we consider them together. The objectors and the objections and the matters before the board are the same for both applications. Case number 2108 HC 164, which is agenda items 8 and 9 to take off the table. So it may be prudent to take it off as well and consider them together. It would just be, although one of them is simply for a conditional use permit, one of them is for a zoning change and a conditioning.
I assume the one we just approved was the conditional use permit.
It
No,
is.
that was just taken
I
off the
make a
table.
motion to remove the case file with the zoning change.
That'd be
Take off the
164.
table.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries to do them together, but vote on them separately, right? Okay. So order taking off, go to 8, right?
No, 7.
Just stay on 7, okay. So 7 and 9 together. So I should read 9.
Let's just make it clear.
Yeah, let's clarify this, because I just want to make sure we get this all right.
Since the 2 are tied together, can we vote to either approve or deny the appeal separately or together?
Separate.
So we'll have to vote on it separately. Okay.
But they can talk about it together.
But you can hear, they're the same issues on both, but you just got to vote.
We've already heard the argument.
Right, because this is not a hearing, it's just the data.
It's-
vote.
You ready?
I assume they had to hear a motion to approve or disapprove.
May I, Madam President?
Yes.
Last week, as you will recall, we were before the board and there were some issues about the road work, which had been the subject of why it was tabled to begin with. I understood the county requested some action from its employees.
Yes.
They gave a report, which we received, Malcolm and I both received an email, and I assumed we would have been given an opportunity to respond to that, other than going straight to a vote.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I want discussion, it's just
Thank
not
you.
as a hearing, so I was just trying to make sure I was doing parliamentary, procedures
Understood.
properly.
Thank you.
Would you like to go first, Malcolm?
Okay, thank you. So Malcolm Jones here on behalf of the developers. As you recall, there were some questions, Ms. Rockby, you weren't there, but you were out, but there were questions about what needed to be done pertaining to the road bed itself, or the base, I guess you'd call it. And there was some question about whether or not the county had been out there doing some work to try to deal with some problems. And I'm assuming everybody has seen the report that came from Jackie here about that. And we still stand by the same statement that we made last time, that we will do whatever is necessary to prepare or correct or repair, I guess, the road base before we put the asphalt down. So we still stand by it. It does not appear, though, from the report that I read, that there is a big issue out there with that, from what I can tell. But I think the report speaks for itself. Jackie's here.
Madam President, may I make a motion to accept the report into the record
I'll second.
and have the county engineer
Give us,
give us a report on the report?
we have a motion and a second to accept engineer Jackie Turner's report.
Let her give it to us, and then we'll.
Yeah, go ahead, Jackie, tell us what you saw. And thank you for doing that so quickly.
Sure.
Madam President, that was a motion and a second.
Yeah, we're gonna have this in discussion.
Just not to do what is your serious responsibility because of fatigue. It was not sent back last time by Lisa Dodson, the sitting circuit court judge, because the specific findings were not in it. It was sent back because of egregious violations of the county ordinance regarding when the timing of the hearing was held and other things. That's just simply inaccurate, that it was sent back because we didn't do the right finding. The cure for that on the next case is that Malcolm wrote the order and provided it to Tim and made all this board's findings. I don't mind this board making whatever finding it thinks the record supports, but it's the board's finding, not ours. And quite frankly, if she wants to go through, or Tim wants to go through the record and make the findings and suggest to the board, and the board agrees that's the findings, so be it. But I don't want Malcolm or myself, even at y'all's direction, presenting her an order saying what y'all's findings are. That's inappropriate, folks.
I agree. We'll look into that.
Thank you.
Sure, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Just wanted to say a couple of things. I researched this back in September when this board sent it back to planning. It was sent back for ingress and egress issues, according to our minutes. Now, since that was time number 3, this has been going on since 2019. The first time it was sent back, you agreed not to have cookie cutter looking houses. The second time was the lot sizes, which you did adjust, and then the ingress and egress. And we just recently approved a larger subdivision, in my opinion, with smaller lots near that. Also, I just want to say that I think we're sending a bad message, maybe a mixed one at best, because just last week we had a situation where we had a group in here that the board had asked them prior to their reappearance to do certain things, get certificates, do this, and it had nothing to do with developers, but it was simple. They came back last week, they had not done what the board had asked them to do. In this case, you have done everything that the board has asked you to do. Then the last time you were here, it seems like every time it comes back there's something else. And the last time was the road drainage work issues. We just heard the county supervisor say, in her opinion, we hadn't been out there and done it. So for that reason, that's what I'm gonna base my vote on. I'm gonna base it on the facts, not emotion, heartfelt, any of that. Just based on the facts that what this board has looked at and the fact that you have come back 3 times and have done everything that the board had asked you to do.
So based on facts, I'd like to give my opinion now because it's in my district. Go ahead,
Just one thing for you.
Mr. Levitt.
And I think the record will reflect this. My motion was to send it back in reference to the egress and ingress, the condition of the road that was not accepted as part of the county. And I think in my motion, or at least the preamble to my motion and the statement that I made was that that is not the key element of whether we accept or not accept the commission's decision. That was just because of the road wasn't the key element. The fact was that under no circumstances, I think the board would accept the conditional use permit or the zoning change is if those roads were not repaired. But it did not deal with the overall issue whether we would accept conditional use permit or zoning change. So the implication that we sent it back to get the road issue straight and therefore we would approve it, that was not the implication that I meant.
And egress obviously means the in and out, not just the condition of the road, for you all to be clear. So it is in my district, and this is the part of this job, the only part that I despise. I have extreme respect for Bobby. I'm friends with your daughter Megan. Of course, I have extreme respect for you and your family. Your wife is my dentist, and your beautiful daughter. You're my neighbor, Steve. All I can do is drive over there over and over and over and look at children in the front yard, and look at the street, and look at the egress, and look at the family that I met whose 18-year-old daughter was killed on Shaw Road. This is what I have to do. And I will tell you, I've spoken to Walker Farms, and I hate this, but my firm opinion and belief, based on facts, is that this should be denied to move forward. I make a motion to uphold the appeal to deny the Planning Commission's decision to allow the development, and I am so sorry, and I hate this, but I believe it is what is best. It is not fitting. There are too many homes. This is the county, and I don't want it to be an overwrought city, and I'm sorry, but that is the motion that I have to make,
Second.
is to uphold the appeal to deny the Planning Commission to move forward. We have a motion and a
I'm
second.
sorry.
Any further discussion?
I'm sorry, Madam President. Okay, is this on, we got to vote on them separately?
Yes.
So we want to do this on
The
the
first one.
conditional use first?
Deny the conditional.
The condition.
We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
No.
Sorry, Supervisor Jones, it's on you.
Oh, no.
No?
Yes.
All right, motion fails.
Now, do we need a motion to approve? Or does that end?
That's the zoning.
Oh, the zoning.
Well, no, that was, that motion, okay, bear with me. That motion denied the condition, the approval of the Planning Commission's decision. So if you wish to grant the conditional use and to reverse the Planning Commission's decision on the conditional use, you will need to do a separate motion to do that.
Tricia, they actually recommended the conditional use to planning commission.
Yeah, so we're not going against the planning commission, right?
The vote is to deny the appeal and uphold the planning
I
commission.
apologize, you're right, I got confused. I apologize. So you would do a motion to approve the plan.
To uphold the planning commission, so moved.
So we have a motion and a second to uphold the Planning Commission, conditional use. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Me. Anyone else opposed? Marlon, what's your
No.
vote?
We're on the zoning.
Yeah, Beverly made a motion to approve it to move
Wait a
forward.
minute now.
Wait,
Conditional use.
that's not what you're.
No.
You're on conditional use. You're upholding planning commission on conditional use. You are on number 7.
I thought the first vote was the conditional use.
Mr. Ladner, this is Walker Farms West, which is item number 7. The original motion was to uphold the appeal. That failed. Now the motion is to deny the appeal and to approve the recommendation of the planning commission. That's the motion now. On Walker Farms West only.
Yeah,
Conditional use.
So we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. No.
No.
And I would also like to point out that we should, as supervisors, put our eyes on the location and drive through it and actually speak to the people before making life-changing decisions.
I couldn't tell, was that passed?
Yes, in
Okay.
your favor. Number 8,
Number 9.
9, thank you. Why is it so spread out? I have to scroll like
Take 'em off
this
the
far.
Because that's all the attachments that are there from the zoning.
Yeah.
From the zoning.
Number 9, consider the appeal filed by do I need to read it, the whole thing? Yeah, it's different. Filed by the Christopher Peck, Lori DeBecca, Yolanda McGee, and the citizens of Walker Farm subdivision of the Planning Commission's decision to approve case file 2108HC164 for a zoning map amendment and conditional use permit by Robert Heinrich with Heinrich and Associates LLC for S&W Properties LLC requesting approval to change the zoning district classification of a 23-acre parcel of land. The property is currently zoned as C2 General Commercial District. The request is to change the zoning district classification to the R1 Low Density Residential District for the purpose of developing Walker Farm South, a single-family residential subdivision with approximately 56 lots as shown on the site plan. Residential subdivisions require a conditional use permit from Planning Commission. The subject property is located at 19530 Highway 53. The ad valorem tax parcel numbers are 0606E 01009.002.
Motion to deny the appeal based on consistency in the facts as I researched.
We have a motion and a second. Further discussion? Again, I ask that you have driven out there and looked at what we're talking about and spoken to the people who live there. Because this will affect them, not y'all in Biloxi or West Gulfport.
Actually, if you're referring to me.
I just mean in general. I just mean in
Addressing me.
general.
I have been out there.
Okay.
And I have spoken to some of the people that live on Shaw Road. So,
I wasn't addressing you. I'm just putting it on the record.
I'm just saying.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Just because this one has to do with the zoning change, at this point, I would ask whomever has made
To
the motion.
include the,
There's been a change in the circumstance of the neighborhood. that
Correct.
There's a public
the
need.
specific findings that were found before. Please adjust my.
Public need for housing, you mean?
Public need, and there's a change in
The
circumstance
change in the
neighborhood.
neighborhood, which was discussed previously. As part of the record.
Who made the second?
Connie?
Was it, they spoke, was there anything you'd like to say?
No, thank you.
Motion and a second on the table, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Sharpa?
Aye.
No?
What?
Would you say aye?
I said aye.
Okay, anyone opposed? Aye.
No, whatever.
No, yeah, Marlon and I say no on opposition. Motion carries. Consent agenda, items number 10 through 15 have been placed on the consent agenda, same appearing to be routine, non-controversial matters on which all supervisors are likely to agree. Motion?
Motion.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Number 16, tax assessor, order approving in-county travel reimbursement for the tax assessor's office as listed below. Motion?
Motion.
Second?
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Let's see, number 17, order acknowledging receipt of and approving petitions for decreases to the 2020-2021 real and personal property rules as recommended by the tax assessor. Motion?
Second discussion. Is there a reason for this discount?
They stated in the record what the reason was.
Okay.
So you can tell it. Paula?
For the tax roll? Oh, is there a reason why they're doing the decreases, or is it?
What are the reasons? She wants to know.
If you look at that back up, it'll tell you what it is. They probably don't have it.
Okay,
in their
I
mind.
see it.
I think they usually say them.
They usually do.
Yeah. 10.
I think one of them was, somebody went out of business, and
Which
I can't recall them all.
That's fine.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 18, order acknowledging receipt of and approving petitions for decreases to the 2022 real and personal property roll as recommended by the tax assessor. Motion.
Motion.
Do we have a second?
See, the
Any
previous-
discussion? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, the previous one was for 20 and 21.
Right.
That's why I was asking.
Oh, yeah, this is last year.
I think that was the one that went out of business, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was just curious about the other one because of the time.
It did go out of business, and then there are a couple of data entry errors.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. EMA, order approving community preparedness grant application to Mississippi Office of Homeland Security for funds to provide community emergency response team or CERT training materials totaling $7,760. Do we have a second?
Second.
No, it's just a new grant from Mississippi Office of Homeland Security for us to get training materials for community preparedness classes.
Fantastic, great. And CERT's been wonderful. Having volunteer hours with people who really
Very
care
nice.
is incredible.
Absolutely.
We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Number 20, order taking off the table approving the sole source purchase from Hazard Control Technologies, Inc. for HCT 500 encapsulator firefighting agent at a cost of $7,745, payable from 103-250-6006, and approving line item transfer from 103-250-922 to 103-250-606 for purchase. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 21, order approving the sole source purchase for Hazard Control Technologies, Inc. for HCT 500 encapsulator firefighting agent at a cost of $7,745, payable from 103-250-606, and approving the line item transfer from 103-250-922 to 103-250-606 for purchase. Motion?
Motion.
Second discussion, I think the documents now do show that that would be a legitimate, thing.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 22, order authorizing the board president to sign the Mississippi Department of Insurance County Fire Investigator form designating Chief Pat Sullivan as the County Fire Investigator. Motion.
Motion.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Youth Court. Order approving travel for 4 youth court employees to attend the National Association of Drug Court Professionals Conference to be held June 26th through 29th in 2023 in Houston, Texas, payable from 030-193-475, which is DOJ grant funds to cover registration, hotel travel, and meals. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 24, order approving purchase of storage shed for Visitation and Resource Center to be used for storing outdoor equipment activities at an estimated cost not to exceed $5,000, payable from 001-181-919, and authorizing transfer of $5,000 from 001-181-641 to 001-181-919 for the same. Motion?
Motion.
We'll do a second and
Second
discussion.
discussion.
You got
Okay. Okay, is this the mobile home area or the manufactured home area?
Yes, the one over on Maples Drive, it's just to put a portable shed so we can put like playground, like outside equipment and things. Per Pam, when I was discussing with her, it needs to be under lock and key. And so we just were gonna get one of those from Lowe's, basically, the ones that you put together. I think it was like a 12 by 20 foot, and so we would put the outdoor equipment in there.
What do we do if we've got a building that's not being used right now? the shelter, is there any way, I mean, we keep spending money on this mobile home and the other stuff. Can we just let them use that instead?
Or is there another trailer? I mean,
We keep expending money on a mobile home, and we have a perfectly good building over there with a backyard, we put a splash pad in it, it's got a
Yeah.
playground. Can
So-
we figure out a way to maybe use that building if we're not, until we're gonna use it for something else or something?
So vicinity wise, what they need is too far. The shelter you're referring to is all the way on the other side. My thought, Val, is not to beat a dead horse, but when fraudulent pictures, were given to us last year by Youth Corps to try and get that 30,000 square foot building, to spend 1.5 to 2 million in tax dollars to refurbish it, to give it back to the family who owned it in 3 years. That was a major, major problem. We didn't want you to lose that DOJ grant. And I wish Judge Dickinson was here so I could tell him that instead of you. So that's why we gave that yellow trailer, that was CASA. We gave CASA that gorgeous building, as you know, to the right. You had the yellow trailer, then we find out many months later, you also took the trailer behind it, which without our permission, because we were shocked. The yellow trailer you had, the whole back trailer, y'all just took with zero permission and zero vote from this board. So 5,000 for a little rubber shed? No, in my opinion. You have that entire trailer behind you. That's very nice. 3 bedrooms, bathroom, big living area. It's just, it continues.
But we have a beautiful building that's sitting vacant that was a shelter for children.
That's right.
Could you use that? I mean, instead, I mean, I hate to say move out of your trailers, but it's not that far. I mean, it's just across the yard from what I've seen.
And that was the original proposal with this grant, was the shelter.
Yeah.
So we weren't using funds, cash match to do what we're doing currently
Why
with
don't
the
you use it for
trailers.
storage stuff?
Ma'am,
It's just sitting there.
what's that?
It's sitting there because we were spending $800,000 a year on something that wasn't being used for the amount of children it was supposed to be.
But couldn't you use it for store as opposed to buying a $5,000 building? So once you gotta walk a little further.
I don't think a rubber shed costs $5,000, personally.
Yeah, they.
No, that's what they have, but, I mean, you have an entire trailer behind you that you didn't ask permission, that y'all used, and we allowed it. What about that space? I'm sorry that it's aggravating, but these are the facts, and I remember them very, very clearly.
And I will go back through the agendas over the past few years where that was authorized, that back trailer.
Well, then maybe it was one time I was not here, because there is no way.
I will do my best to locate that, because we would not have utilized a building that was not approved by the board to utilize. And it was in 2 different phases. The first one was the front trailer that the board authorized for us to use, and then in addition, the second one was the back trailer.
But I'd like to authorize them to use that vacant building in that backyard that is so nice.
Are we paying power and water and everything on that building? That children's, the
Yes.
former children?
On the
Yeah.
shelter.
Then why can't you, what do you want?
Well, there's no power or water being
You don't wanna
used.
cut power
No, you
off.
can't
No,
cut
it's,
the power.
that's what I mean, but for storage as opposed to paying $5,000.
And we
There
spent
is
money
a
on,
storage
we spent money
building.
on the porch, we spent money on the
On that
trailer. We just keep spending money
And that's the cash
on
match.
something, and when we've got
that's-
another building that's perfect for this, and it's just not being used at all. And so why can't we just use that building until something else happens? I mean, we're supposed to put some kind of, it's been sitting vacant for a year now or more. I mean, let's use it. And
What are you
it's-
trying to store?
Playground equipment that we don't have on location that was approved by the board for us for the visitation center.
What about the giant trailer behind the yellow visitation
That's
center?
the resource center that was approved by the board for us to utilize.
And I'm sure you
Doesn't
remember,
look
I
like
wasn't
a
there that
giant
day,
one To me,
I-
like a.
I don't recall.
because I know I would remember that. Can you look to make sure we approve that? I'm just making a point.
Well, my point was to get them out of the trailer and move them into the children's shelter until we could.
I understand, but we are in talks with a 100-year-old organization
But they-
Methodist Children's Homes, they are having trouble right now finding enough qualified people to work there. We denied the children's shelter because we were spending almost $800,000 a year. And then we find out later that judge wasn't sending children there. There were 2 or 3 a month. And if for tax dollars to spend $800,000 a year.
It's 5, I think, and we
No, it
took
was
care of that.
$650 plus all of that's why we said no. And then we had the falsified documented pictures given to this board of the Golden property at Westminster. I know you're smiling, but I didn't even go to the press with this, but this is live.
Look, and
They were falsified
falsified
pictures.
photos.
Yes, they were.
The photos that were provided were of the restored portions of that building, 100%. I still have those pictures in my office.
But there, 80% of the building was falling apart.
And we did make that clear to the board that the other
That is
parts
not-
of the building would have to be repaired.
So I guess we're not gonna use the shelter, we're gonna continue to how long, do you know how long it'll be before that organization comes down and uses our shelter, our children's shelter?
We already voted to pay for the portion that we were spending for not much use, for a much greater use. And they cannot find the psychiatrist that they need, and they're having trouble right now finding the staff, that highly qualified
Do you know how
staff.
long that might be before they find?
I don't know how long, I really don't. I promise I'll talk to her again. Devon, the leader, the executive director, he left, and they have an interim right now. I'd rather something sit unused and not waste money.
Well, it wouldn't be wasted money, is what I'm telling you.
No,
because
she
we're
can
wa-
store
we're
stuff
spending-
there, but I know how Judge Dickinson works, and before you know it, we're gonna be having children in there and church members sleeping there again. That's my fear. Remember the bed bugs?
I don't remember church members. I'm not sure.
10 nights, church members slept there because they had bed bugs. It was in September, 2.5 years ago. It was a whole family. I'm not trying to be harsh, we cannot keep wiggling and like Supervisor Rocco said, spending all this money where it's just like the decking. You wanted, what, $30,000 for new decking, and it was not necessary. The CBs did it, and it was.
Right, part of the grant that was approved is we had the 25% match. We originally proposed the shelter, which would have been no extra additional funds to the county. That was denied, so therefore we had to do, I think Supervisor Powers suggested the 25% cash match each year, which is a total of $69,000 a year that has to be expended for this grant period. That's the money that's being utilized on these trailers, is the 25% required match that was approved.
Would it be too far away if we used part of the shelter for that storage for you?
I mean, it would be for playground, like toys and things, so we'd have to drag them from the one end of the street and bring them.
What about CASA? CASA, that beautiful building that we moved them out of the yellow trailer, CASA is huge. The administrator's office is half as big as this room. Can we just, I know y'all are like this with CASA, so can you just?
Playground equipment in their building?
I'll pay for
Put it in the children's
Yeah,
shelter.
put
This is
it-
ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Y'all keep spending money, tit for tat, this and that, and I'm a supporter of yours, as you know, Miss Valerie, but this is getting to the point where this is utterly ridiculous. We have an entire empty building sitting there, paying power, lights, water, gas on, and you wanna go buy a storage building. Just put it over there and store it. This is crazy. This makes no sense to me.
We are trying to recreate a building that was denied for our use, which is a shelter.
I'm
which
not
is a
saying use it
phenomenal-
as a shelter.
a
I'm saying you
phenomenal
can put
location.
your $5,000 worth of equipment or whatever it is over there in an existing building. We're paying utilities anyway. It's not gonna increase them any because nobody's gonna be there. You're just gonna store stuff. This
And
is crazy.
could they use the backyard as a playground
They probably do that anyway, I would think.
of, for the shelter, of the shelter?
Sure, I mean,
Just curious.
Just a problem?
no.
So then you can have your toys there and your visitation there, or
The toys and stuff, is it?
Weekly, we have visitations at the visitation center, which is the trailers adjacent to the old youth work.
So it's weekly, so it would be inconvenient to go that distance. Get the toys.
Yes, sir, it would be very inconvenient to pull teeter-totters and things
Yeah.
like that down the street.
Down the street to
Yeah,
do
your
that.
entire trailer that you're now calling the resource center, that is huge. Why can't you keep a little toy box in there?
Well, we have toys inside, it's for the outdoor toys, and that resource center, each room has clothing that's been donated for the intervention court purposes, and so that's what that resource center
But you
trailer
just-
is. And it's set up for groups,
But if
for
you
our
had-
peer support to do
If
group
you had
care.
your toys in the shelter, and you had your kids to walk over and play in that neighborhood, then you wouldn't have to drag it so far. They could play in that pretty backyard and and you could have your toys stored right there, and then it wouldn't cost.
We have plenty of outdoor toys at the old location of the shelter, but I don't think there would be a need to purchase additional equipment if we were gonna be allowed to use the playground at shelter for those outdoor visits. It's just
Okay,
with the weather
so how about we
becoming-
make a motion like Ms. Rocco wants? The children for visitation can use the outdoor playground of Hope, but not enter. You can store all your stuff back there and walk the little children over there to play. Is that better?
Yes.
So we are
That makes more
authorized to
sense.
utilize the playground on shelter. property of the children's
Utilize the
shelter.
playground on the
The
shelter.
outdoor
then.
setting.
Unless we, it comes through that we get these other people, but we'll deal with that in the future.
I could do it, I guess it's okay if I did a substitute motion to reflect exactly what Supervisor Powers said. That instead of buying playground or storing it, just take the kids up there and utilize the playground that's currently there.
And if they have a storage area, then they could store whatever they need to store there, and then they just walk in and out.
Yeah, we have a big, beautiful, what do you call it? Pavilion,
Yeah,
thank
it's a
you. A
splash
big,
pad.
beautiful pavilion. It'll be fine under there, and a splash pad.
Well, I'll make that a
There is a
substitute
shed, that big green building.
On the
that's in
left.
playground.
That's what I
I think
said.
about it. There's something they
There
need
need
to
to be
do.
a substitute motion.
Oh,
All right, so we have a motion, well, it is because we're not doing the 5,000 for the rubber storage unit. So the substitute motion is to walk the children and their families over to the playgrounds of Hope and use that. Is that good?
yeah, because we had a motion to purchase storage shed, but now we're substituting.
But not to have keys inside, I want to be clear on that. All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All right, motion carries. Thank you. Number 25, Senior Resources Agency, order approving Senior Resources Agency to apply for the MDOT Transportation Grant 5310 for one passenger ADA minivan and one 17-passenger ADA bus at a total cost of $204,230, with MDOT contributing 80% at $163,384, and the county contributing 20% at $40,846, and authorizing budget amendment if this grant is awarded. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 26, order concurring with the Planning Commission's decision to approve case file 2. Hey, Eric. Go ahead.
Zoning recommends concurrence of the planning commission's decision for approval on cases 26, 27, 28, and 29.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second
Any discussion?
discussion. I'd like to thank Eric for all of the hard work, and also our engineer and Tim of all the hard work of that they had to put in on a subdivision where a developer who will remain nameless did violate all of our conditions, and they straightened that out as much as could be straightened out, but.
I'm gonna give Jackie all the credit, because I'm just an interloper who just showed up.
But that takes a lot of time and effort when developers promise they're gonna do something and they don't. And so I just wanted to take that opportunity, since we were on that type of thing, to do that on North Swan Road. So thank you so much.
So we have a motion.
Thank you for the time, Ms. President.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second on the table. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Number 30, order approving payment of claims listed to be paid from the tort account. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 31, order spreading upon the minutes the personnel changes of the sheriff's office as listed and on file with the payroll clerk and personnel human resources department. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 32, order concurring with the road manager on employment as listed and as on file with the payroll clerk and personnel human resources department. Motion?
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 33, order spreading upon the minutes the personnel changes of the district attorney's office as listed and on file with the payroll clerk and personnel human resources department. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 34, order concurring with the county administrator on employment as listed and as on file with the payroll clerk and personnel human resources department. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 35, order concurring with the youth court on employment as listed and as on file with the payroll clerk and personnel human resources department. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. 36, purchasing department, order spreading upon the minutes the list of emergency low quote and state contract orders issued by the purchasing department for the month of January 2023. Motion?
Motion.
Second. Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. We now recognize the sheriff, Troy Peterson, or see reports on the number of persons currently housed in the Harrison County Jail.
Currently we have 801, 49 misdemeanors, 119 females, 120 that have cleared state arrest, and 22 federal inmates. I just got two things to discuss.
Okay.
One, and I don't know if I don't think either one of them really need to do an executive session. One is a county electrician. If we have an county, if Tim says we do, a certified electrician, I need to pay them to hang some cameras at different areas of the county. I have 5 cameras to hang, and it's going to be on county poles. It's not going to be on state poles. These are traffic cameras. So,
Is this your electrician, Tim, road department?
No, this is.
No, this is outside building and grounds.
Yeah, it'd be willing.
no. You made me. I asked him if we had one. He said yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know
William
who's-
Lindley.
I don't know where he's at, but I know we got one on payroll somewhere.
Yeah.
I just told
His name is
him
William
outside-
Lindley, and he works for Willie Smith.
Outside
Allen.
building and grounds, the sheriff wouldn't have to pay outside building and grounds to go hang a camera on the pole.
No, that's.
We
only
should
for
be
the
able to
road
do that,
department.
Sheriff, without you paying for
Well,
it.
I appreciate free. I like
Just
it.
just buy the equipment.
But they don't hang any of our
Huh?
cameras. They don't hang any of the cameras
If
that
they
we
don't
have in, that we all
So
take.
just
Why
get,
don't they?
so get with Willie?
Mhm.
Apparently, this is not as complicated.
I wouldn't think so.
No, it's not a, from
It's
what I
on the
understand,
traffic, like, right?
yeah, from what I understand, it's not, you don't have to shut a grid down to get it
And
done.
outside building and grounds should be able to
Yeah,
do
you
that.
just.
Do we need to vote on that, or just give him permission?
I think Sam can take care of that.
Second thing is, and Trish, I don't know if this is, or really, I don't know if this is, would be considered a service contract for the food services at the academy. If it would be a service contract. So we have Aramark, who is at the jail right now. We have reached out to Aladdin, we've reached out to a bunch of the different vendors to take over the food services at the academy. We even reached out to where they're at now at the assembly, and it's just too far for the ladies in the cafeteria to travel to do the food services. So it would be less than $75,000, but I need to know how to do this. To either put it out as a service, RFQ to do it, or just to take Aramark, because they are doing our service right now at the jail. So this wouldn't be an additional or an extension until, the contract would be until the end of my term. then they could go into an extension with Airmark, so they would do the jail and the academy.
If I recall correctly, we did bid out, when we did food service, the last time when Airmark was selected, we bid that out, we requested. So I think we could taper that, you could go out for bid, and then if it's not what you want, then we can go from there. But I think it could be, you could just go out for your quotes, it's gonna be less than 75.
Right, so I just go out for quotes?
I think you can.
And then at the end of the term.
Quotes or bids?
It's competitive bid, it's about.
But at the end of the term,
Right.
then you would bid it out, because you'd want to bid them together. I guess that's up to.
Well, that's up to them. If they want to do it, I think it'd be better for them. But as of right now, we're looking at a move-in date, probably middle of March. And this is something we've been working on since November. It just has not come to fruition. Yeah, so do we have time to do this? And I think this is what I'm asking the board. I don't believe we have time to do this based on the state standards, but can we put it out? Can we go under a service contract with Airmark? We have, all the other bids that people have given us, and the ones that people say, I just can't do it. So it's a kind of a question to where I want to stay within the state laws, but this is something that needs to happen.
Well, you have bids, you have the bids, and they could.
But he couldn't just get two
award
quotes.
bids. Well, that's what he said, he already had, you got bids, so you just got.
You
started.
got your quotes, right? You just said you have your quotes already?
Well, I've got one quote, and I've got one price that we're gonna be less than this. I can get the quotes, that's not an issue.
Get those.
So just get two quotes, okay?
Well, hey, you might wanna get 3 in case something's wrong with one.
Yeah. I mean, and Airmark's gonna give you a quote.
And then we can vote at the next
And
meeting.
then we'll, and if you don't mind, if you would send those to us, I know that, I know Norris is busy right now, so if you want to, you can just send them.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all know this, but Mr. Allen passed away last night.
Did he? No, I didn't know that. I knew he was sick.
Anything else, Sheriff?
No, that's it, thank you.
Thank you. 38, order approving the low quote purchase. Oh, wait, we'll go past that. Just skip 38 since we were just talking about that?
Now this.
No, this is
Oh, that's the oven, sorry. Order approving the low quote purchase from Associated Food, Equipment, and Supplies in the amount of $24,998.25 for an electric convection oven for the new Harris County Law Enforcement Training Academy, payable from 001-200-922, and authorizing county administrator to transfer funds from 001-211-432. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? Go ahead.
Go ahead and finish it.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Tricia?
I'm sorry, can we go back to what the sheriff was saying with regard to obtaining the quotes on the food service? Because that's a county contract. Chancery clerk just pointed out to me, and he's absolutely correct, and I thank him. I think he's right. The contract with Airmark is a county contract. And so I think it would be appropriate to direct the purchasing clerk to go out and get those bids for it.
Bids or quotes?
Quotes. I call it, they're interchangeable.
Is that right, Sheriff? Am I wrong?
I don't, that's why I'm asking you. I mean, I'm asking y'all, I don't know what's
I
right
mean,
or
if you
not.
wanna do it, that's fine, but it'll take that off your plate.
He just has to tell them how, he'll just have to help them with the specs as far as the number, how many meals.
Well, that's not an issue.
And all that, so we just have to have that information.
And if you would rather do it, then that's fine too, but we'll just need to get them to Judy, let her look at
So just get it to Jody?
them. Judy.
Or Judy, I'm sorry. I got it, Jody, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Judy.
I apologize, thank you.
All right, 39, county administrator order approving mileage reimbursement for in-county travel for the following employees. Motion?
Second discussion. I just had one question. There's one that's kind of jumps out, and I think it's J, $330, and everybody else's is kind of,
It's
and
from
so is
November.
B. Yeah.
from November through January, that's the 10 report.
Well, most of them
What
are.
about B? It's just the month of October, it looks like.
Yeah, that's the
That's how much she
public
travels.
garden.
Yeah,
She
I think
travels
JD Lee travels every day.
But one's a bailiff and then one's a, one.
Guardian ad litem.
Guardian ad litem, they're two different ones, but I did notice that one.
I would make a suggestion, rather than looking at this just a 1 month time, that you evaluate those mileages, and if somebody's collecting $500, $600, $700 on an average a month, then it might be wise to look at purchasing a vehicle for them. Other than that, just looking at a 1 month thing wouldn't necessarily red flag it, but if it's if it's constant or if it's an average where you're spending.
This is 3 months for $300.
This one's.
And that's 3 months, but what about the following month? Is that an average or is that unusual? I'm just simply saying that if somebody is collecting on an average $400, $500, $600 a month, then we might need to look at a car.
Giving them.
I believe B was long, it says October 1 through 31st.
What is this? That's 328 for 1 month. Maybe that's a low month, that's a high month.
And I just compare, when I do, I'm not accusing anybody of anything, it's just, I look at the comparisons of 179, you know,
That's a car note.
65,
The job
47.
would dictate, somebody's
Yeah,
job
so
might
I
require
would
them to
just-
be on the road more than others.
I just like an explanation, you know, how many plate, how long.
First, that was October, November, and December. Would that be also, so it was 3 months as well?
I think, yeah, well, here's one for $45, it's
that's
November, December, and January too, that's what.
But that's probably just if they went to the bank or the, you know, or
Yeah.
post office and back.
All right, there's an investigator for 197, and he's for January.
That's the
One month.
VA's office.
Just wondering if there's explanations that go with those. I'm not, like I said, it's not
Yeah,
an
it's itemized.
accusatory issue. We've just had issue with people in gas before, and I wanted to make sure that,
That's mean.
No, it's daily,
so
it's detailed.
gasoline charges, you know what I'm saying?
All right, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 40 or 39, where were we?
40.
Yeah, 40. Order authorizing the reimbursement to the road fund 150000360 in the amount of $200 for Civic Center rental bookings for January 2023, payable from 001-510-581. Motion.
Motion.
Have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Order authorizing the inter-fund loans and repayments per the attached schedule. Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Motion carries. Anyone opposed? Okay, motion carries. 42, order authorizing the reimbursement to the road fund 150000360 in the amount of $8,629.59 payable from the $15 million 2018 bond fund 313-100-904 for drainage work done on the multi-facility complex. Details attached. Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
Discussion, yeah. I gotta brag, did y'all notice our nice parking lot across the street?
Yes. Thank you,
Thank you, Timmy, thank you
Timmy.
very much, I'm ready to work on this, but we'll have a little ribbon cutting over there for our March Biloxi meeting. I was gonna wait till after Mardi Gras, because we probably get to clean it up, but y'all did a great job, I'm freaking Jackie.
All right. Any further discussion? Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 43, order authorizing the transfer in the amount of $205,570.56 from the $15 million 2018 bond fund 313-900-950 to the Capital Project Road Fund 301-000-387 for paving of Orange Grove Road. Motion.
Second.
Motion.
I mean, motion.
Any discussion?
Y'all know.
All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Chancery Clerk, order approving payment of the following claims.
Motion. Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 45, order approving claims docket per Mississippi Code 1972 and Section 1913-27. Motion?
Motion.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Board agenda, order approving CPR and basic first aid class to be held April 18th, 2023 at the Harrison County Advocacy Center from 9, oh, we already did that, didn't we? Is that different?
This is different.
Okay. For at Harris County Advocacy Center from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 47, order authorizing advertisement for Veterans Boulevard. This is project number DECD 2427B, Harrison County, Mississippi, for construction upon authorization from state aid and authorizing the board president to execute the letter to MDA for amendment to the MOU dated September 1st, 2021 between Harrison County and MDA. Plans have been submitted to state aid. Amendment will be to construct a two-lane boulevard with raised median for portion of project to reduce cost. Motion?
Motion. Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Number 48, order authorizing 65% down payment in the amount of $512.85 due upon receipt of purchase order to Megatronic Security, Inc. with doorbell, video security door at the Long Beach Work Center, payable from 150300641. Motion?
Motion.
Second discussion, what is this, Pam?
That's
Is this a
the-
new system they put in, or they repairing the old one, because the old one doesn't
No,
work?
no, it's not, it's what y'all wanted, a different.
It's gonna be a video where she can
She can
see.
see and then she can respond.
Good, okay, it's a new system.
Yes.
She needs.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay, 49, order authorizing the board president to execute the following insurance forms.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Number 50, order adjudicating the employment of the board attorney to represent Harrison County and the Harrison County Board of Supervisors regarding a claim against Packet Movers, Danny Penn, and/or other interested parties. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 51, order approving the waiver of rental fees for the use of the Isaiah Fredericks Community Center by the Humane Society of South Mississippi to host a free pet vaccine clinic on February 24th, 2023.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Order correcting Scrivener's error in the order adopted October 10th, 2022, being agenda item number 48, file ID number 22-1873, to change the date of adoption of the 2013 Harrison County Redistricting Plan to the correct date of December 2nd, 2013.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 53, resolution declare,
Sorry. We did.
oh, we did at the beginning of the meeting, yes, thank you.
I hadn't looked at it.
All right, 54, order authorizing the repair and resurfacing of certain streets within the city of Pasquishchan and located in Supervisor Voting District 3 as per the terms of the interlocal governmental cooperation agreement between the city and the county.
Motion.
Second.
Ms. Powers, may I be recognized?
Yes, sir.
I wanted to come down here specifically, I was sent by the mayor to thank Mr. Ladner and the board specifically for all the paving that you've done for us recently. It's been very appreciated by the town, and we really needed it. And that was paving that you were doing on our behalf that we are not reimbursing. Now, what's before you today is a request for us to use your contractor and we're aware that now it's a variable rate with the paving, and we know whatever it is, we will ultimately pay, and the personnel cost as well. But just wanted to say thank you, that we do appreciate that when you go and do these kind of things for us, and it meant a lot to us. And look, I know how hard it is to make decisions for all kinds of things that you'll have to deal with, and I respect each of you for the decisions that you make, regardless of how they may fall. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mel.
Thank you, Mel.
Tell the mayor, thank you, that was very sweet.
We've done it for the other cities.
Yeah.
All right, did we vote?
No.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 55, order approving the lease agreement between Harrison County and the Mississippi Coast RC Club, Inc. for real property located adjacent to the Lyman Work Center, 15001 County Farm Road in Gulfport, to be used for the operation of Model Airplane Club.
Motion.
Second?
Discussion. All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 56, order approving. We did that one too. I can't write on my computer screen, so that's my problem. Thank you.
Check it out.
All right, no, I appreciate it. All right, 57, order taking off the table adjudicating and authorizing expenditures as listed below as necessary to advertise and bring into favorable notice the opportunities, possibilities, and resources of Harrison County, Mississippi, including the county logo being displayed on all and with the link displayed to Harrison County online at harrisoncountyms.gov in order to provide access to the public of the resources of Harrison County. This would be payable, from 002-100-522. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Second discussion, because it's gonna come up in the next item. Did we get a clarification on the legal issues with
We
this?
did. The production company is officially the vendor for the Miss Teen USA, Miss.
I'm sorry, Beverly, I can't hear
They're
you.
part of the Miss USA overall pageant.
I wanna ask you a question, do they make money?
Oh,
Absolutely.
probably, so does Miss America, all the rest of it. You know, we did this once before with, Brenda McQuavis's niece. She was in Miss Teen
I
USA.
think, but does the money go to this child for her dress and her travel?
No.
Or is it to
That's what
some
I'm-
production
that's the point that I'm
company?
making, if we're going to her for her expenses, since she represents the county, I'd be more than happy to support it. This is going to an organization that is making money.
Well, it went to the same exact one that we did
Well,
2
if that's
years
the case and I
ago.
voted for it, I'm sorry I
You
did.
probably didn't, but.
No,
Probably
he did.
did.
It's
He did.
Raymond.
Oh, Raymond's niece,
Yeah,
Kimber, yeah. Can we do this directly to Miss Jameson instead of a production
No,
company?
that was the
No,
problem
she
we
can't
had.
do
So,
that.
it was
But
somebody.
the last time that issue didn't come up, the legal aspects of it, and I think Tim brought that issue up at the last meeting, and so that's what concerned me. And I'm not prepared to donate to organizations that are making money.
On her.
If we can help her in any way, I would be fully supportive, because she is representing the county.
Right.
But that was just,
What's Greenwood Production?
that's Miss USA, but all this is doing is taking it off the table. anyway.
Yeah, this is just, I just wanted that clarification,
Yeah,
because
because
it's gonna come
it's
up in the
C,
next.
it's on here.
It's
All right,
on the next
so
one.
let's vote to take it off the table. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye to take it off the table.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay, so we will do number 58, but take out C.
No, we want to.
No, they,
Do you want to include it or vote on it
if
separately?
you wanna vote on it,
Okay.
that's fine. I don't have an objection to vote on
So I have a question about, okay, let me read 58 so we can talk about it. Order adjudicating and authorizing expenditures as listed as necessary to advertise and bring into favorable notice the opportunities, possibilities, and resources of Harrison County, Mississippi, including the county logo being displayed along with link display to Harrison County Online at harrisoncountymS.gov in order to provide access to the public of the resources of Harrison County payable from 002-100-522.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion. Marlon, you asked about the 1,000, and I'm
I
curious.
got my answer as far as the
Yeah.
Greenwood production.
Yeah. On E, $500, what is Gulfport Decade Reunion Committee?
This was an organization that they created some time ago. And they have an event honoring a lot of phenomenal individuals throughout the community.
Okay. Is it like Gulfport High or just?
It's a group of, Gulfport High, Gulfport East.
Okay. Anybody went to Gulfport schools a
And one went to the
decade
Gulfport school
ago?
system.
Yeah. Okay. All right, any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
No.
Motion carries. All right. Sheriff, you got anything? Pam?
I think Tricia's gonna handle the allied buildings.
Is
Okay.
that the one that's in such district?
The allied, no,
No,
this is
that's
one that she did.
Oh,
It's,
yeah.
it might be good.
Not really.
Dr. Ladner?
Apologize, I look sidebar.
It's all right, I've got good ears, I could hear
If
you.
I wanted you to hear, I'd speak
Pam,
I don't repeat rumors, she'll listen well the first time.
up.
Tricia didn't mean.
Did you say? We
The
didn't-
allied,
They were
the
talking to you.
allied building,
Okay.
you, I think you're gonna bring that up, so that's all I
Dr. Ladner?
No, I have not.
Thank you. And I just have, since our wonderful engineer Doug is here for State Aid Roads, what's the latest on Landon Canal?
The utility companies are still in the process of relocating. I know the gas company was authorized a permit to relocate their utilities, and they're out there starting. I know their plans have been approved. So we're in the process of relocating all the power poles and electrical, gas lines.
Can we at least get with Ron Barnes and just ask for a date of when we can at least hope to break ground? I feel like we need a target date so we can
I'll
at
get with
least.
all the utility companies and ask for an update and see when they can provide it, see when they anticipate it. I know there's a lot of lag time on their supplies. The gas company was saying they were 6 months out. This was back in December, but I'll be happy to get you an update.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
And we're good with Mr. Dow? We've gone through to get the remediation on the underground tank? Do you know, or I'll wait for Tim on that.
Well, I know where we are.
Okay.
We have to get the specs done to remove the tank.
And who are we waiting for to do the specs?
We're working, we've got engineering working on it, and so.
Our engineering or?
Yeah, Reed has done some research, is my understanding, so we're getting ready to go. He's been, there are
Okay.
not a lot of them out there.
Yeah.
So, but we think he can do it.
So Jackie, this is the first thing I started when I took office, the very first thing, the very week I took office. It's been almost, what, 3 years. So I really, really would love to get that as, like, yesterday, please. I mean, you go to that four-way stop, it's a nightmare, and we don't repair the roads because we're getting ready to have beautiful new roads, so.
That's true.
Thank you, that's all I had. Supervisor Martin?
I got a couple of things, and I apologize for them being late, but they were late giving me. The Maritime Seafood Museum is asked, they have the Schooner Pier, which is now, and I apologize, but Tim is aware of this. That now is hosting the Pinto, the Maria, something down there, the tall ships. Long story short is, FEMA's doing their repairs from Hurricane Zeta, but they require many permits, among them a floodplain permit from Harrison County. They were notified the permit is gonna cost them $6,741. So their request is to waive that $6,000, that's a lot for a pier. So on their behalf, I was gonna ask that we waive, can we do that?
Who issued, who was the county department? They're saying they got a quote of $6,700 from the county?
For a permit.
6741 for a
For a
floodplain permit from
From where?
Harrison County.
No, it would be code off.
They may have to hire
It should
somebody.
be, was that the code? Huh? It would be the
That would
code
be,
off.
But
that'd be
that's
the code off.
pretty spendy.
Well,
and
the
they-
code
Yeah, that
off
doesn't
the
make
issue
sense.
That's
on
Floodplain.
here.
And what's the
Well,
flood?
so it's our risk, I mean, why would it be so much?
But I'd like to make a motion to waive it for them because
It's not kosher.
that was,
Falls down.
yeah, that's a lot for that one little area.
Is is it a construction permit of some sort?
It's, we've been diligently working with FEMA to make necessary repairs and hopefully open a completed pier by the end of this year. FEMA's requiring many permits, among them a floodplain permit from Harrison County. We were just notified by Harrison County the permit was approved, but the cost is $6,700.
Just want to make sure that there's not some sort of bid, a construction company is going to charge them, just like the schools. We waive the bids for the schools. Want to make sure that it's not for a construction that is,
She says she talked to Tim
permit is in the
about-
bids. They get their money
I
in.
got you.
You understand what I'm saying?
Can I make a motion to approve it based on,
If the
county
if the
attorney
city is paying for the
researching
permit,
this?
then yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'd like
Waive
to do,
it.
because I know Tim was aware of it.
If the city,
Is the maritime part of the city?
It's the schooner pier.
But is the museum,
I think it's a
I don't know.
is it part of the city?
I don't know if this is.
I don't
what
think
appears.
so,
I think it's a nonprofit organization, I think. I've just been a long time since
Are
I've
they,
been.
do they need this permit issued before the next meeting? Here's my concern.
Does
It has
say?
a board. I know they have a board, so I don't know how that
Well,
works.
we,
I believe
Depends
they're
on who's
nonprofit.
paying for the
Yeah.
Is
permit.
there a nonprofit with a board?
It doesn't say, but I can find out. I know, I wish Tim was here, because he probably already knows, but.
well,
Okay.
he probably does, he didn't mention this to me. Here's my concern. Anytime you start talking about FEMA requirements, it's just like, it's just like with you, we are required to carry certain kinds of coverages with flood insurance and stuff like that in order to be eligible. So if they don't have this permit, or if we waive something, I don't think it would affect the eligibility.
But it might.
But I'd rather make sure, I mean, I guess we're talking about still issuing it at zero cost.
Well, do you wanna just look at this then? And, I mean, it doesn't, like I said, I got this February the 8th. She said she had spoken to Mr. Holloman about it, and he instructed her to send a letter to the board. Came to me, probably because it's in my district, but to the board asking for a waiver.
And
That's all I have.
I'll be honest, we've been kind of running this week, he probably forgot to tell me, because he's at he's in court.
Well, I just
Jackson
hold it
today.
because we're gonna meet again.
If we can wait till March,
Okay, that's
and that way
fine.
we'll make sure. I don't think there's a problem, but I'd rather be safe
Do
than
you
sorry.
want the letter?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, it just got, then the only other thing I had was a group that uses the youth court parking lot here for the Mardi Gras parades, wanted permission to put a porta potty out there. And they would leave it open for the public. They'll pay for it, they just wanna put one out there. Is that
They just
kosher?
wanna put it for that day.
They won't
Yeah,
put it on
just
our
for that
property.
day.
And they
Yeah,
pick it up
on our
the same
property.
day or next day, I guess.
I think they dropped it off day before and pick it up next.
I ain't gonna say,
But I know you, I saw it in your face. Just be nice.
I wanna know what happened.
So is that okay?
Sounds good to me.
Do we need a motion? For sure. All right, I move that we allow the porta potty up there at
Second.
the
Second.
parking lot.
We have a motion and a second.
Second.
Any further discussion?
I'm not voting.
All those in favor, say aye.
Because they come.
They may be messing up.
That was it.
All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Supervisor Rocco.
Yes, sir. Doug, I'm putting you on the spot again.
I was born a lady and I will always be.
Somebody called me Sir Walter.
Uh,
Malcolm.
The road to the VA,
Yes, ma'am.
how's that coming along?
You just authorized me to, re-advertise, to rebid.
Okay,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
you've redesigned it
We did.
to everybody's, okay.
We don't have final approval,
That's
but I
approval.
anticipate, within the next week, we'll receive the authorization.
Okay.
Advertising.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
You're talking about a condition.
Yeah, but
I'm
it's
thinking
it,
this.
but it's the VA, and I'd hate for them to have to, take a pickup truck to get down there.
Well, we have made provisions now in the specifications to fill that stretch in front of the VA first, and to make sure it's open within, I believe, 6 months of start of construction. So we're gonna really focus on that and then get the low area back up to 67.
I just wanna make sure our veterans don't have a bumpy ride there.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thanks.
Anything else?
No, no.
Mr. McAdams?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Tricia?
Yes, I'd like to ask the board to enter into a closed session for purposes of discussing the need of executive session for potential litigation regarding the disposal of real property at the industrial seaway.
I would make a motion, just go directly into executive session unless somebody has an issue.
I'll second.
All right, any further
Based
discussion?
on council.
A motion and, a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. We're going to the executive session. Thank you. All those in favor
Can't
say
make a
aye.
motion, I second.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. All right, we're out of executive session.
And the board discussed the matter regarding potential litigation involving real property located on the industrial seaway, and no action was taken.
Still red.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
See, it hadn't changed.
All those in favor to adjourn?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone
Can I
opposed?
get a note?
Motion carries.
Motion second.
Motion to adjourn.